Institutions are controlling the price of XRP and concealing the reality that it will eventually reach above $300 from its current price of $2.20. And we're discussing how the price will start to climb as early as the next day, and the enormous market manipulation that occurred just minutes ago when XRP shot up to 2.30 in a matter of seconds amply demonstrates this. And the reason for this is that a large organization recently purchased XRP. And here we're talking about enormous numbers. It is anticipated that $650 trillion will enter the XRP market, with BlackRock alone reportedly purchasing $9 trillion worth of XRP during the following 45 days by the end of 2025. Thus, just this will raise the price of XRP to $300, $400. However, it has been verified. Forbes has officially expressed their expectation that XRP will surpass $58,000 per token. We are setting the price of CXRP at an all-time high. It has also been verified. This is accurate since these organizations want you to sell your XRP at these shady prices so they can buy up all of it, and then have it stabilized at a high price of between $50,000 and $60,000. In actuality, a number of large management companies and venture investors have publicly declared that XRP is already priced between $10,000 and $35,000. We are discussing one of the biggest companies in the world. Forbes is now using that as well to determine XRP's price. Listen to this, please. Forbes magazine produced an article urging XRP to reach $58,000 for a small period of time before quickly removing it, in case you missed it. The token price was $58,000, not $580 or $58,000. Now consider why one of the largest financial media outlets would release such a figure. I'll explain why. It's not arbitrary. This isn't hype. It's both useful and mathematical. It will require trillions of dollars in real-time liquidity if XRP is to be the bridge currency for the future financial system, facilitating cross-border payments, tokenized assets, derivatives, and CEDCs. The only potential outcome is a more expensive XRP. Trillions of dollars cannot be transferred with a token that only costs a few dollars. However, at $58,000, you may rapidly settle large deals with just a few tokens. The new system scales in this way. Additionally, the fact that they removed that piece indicates to me that the moment of change is closer than most people think. The silent bit was stated by someone. Also, data shows Expo has been manipulated by the market, therefore what you're hearing is true. And the best illustration of that was today. The chart you're currently viewing is an example of a market manipulation. Very obvious. However, research indicates that these large organizations such as JP Morgan and BlackRock are manipulating the market for Expo. Furthermore, it's obvious that that would make a lot of sense. When you say, when you see someone like BlackRock in a big organization, they have apparently disclosed that they will be purchasing XRP for $9 trillion. Just realize how big that is and how much of an impact it would have on XRP's price. Furthermore, since huge money is actually involved in the XRP ledger, all of this could happen within the next 12 hours. We are currently discussing XRP. The whole US SWIFT system, valued at more than 1.5 quadrillion, is being considered for replacement. And since the RealFi ecosystem, which uses the XRP ledger, is getting ready to make a big announcement for the Ural token, which is based on the XRP ledger, and aims to reach $1 trillion market worldwide, we were anticipating a key turning moment for the XRP ledger on November 17th at 8 p.m. BST. The CEO, Brad Gerling, even alluded to this, stating that transactions will soon be cleared in seconds, and that the days of 25-hour transfers are past. And pay attention to me when I say that the XRP ledger will make people wealthy. Some of the largest sums of money are made possible with the XRP ledger. In other words, the XRPL is facilitating trillions of dollars here. And at the moment, we are concentrating a lot of attention on what XRP is doing in terms of price, ignoring the fact that the XRP launcher is home to numerous projects, and that individuals are profiting greatly or stealing millions of dollars from other XRP launcher projects. However, this in particular is enormous. On November 17th, the RealFi ecosystem made a historic announcement regarding the Real token. The Real token is enormous, And you must realize that we are discussing what will actually occur when $650 trillion enters the XRP ledger, particularly affecting two important cryptocurrencies, the real token and the XRP cryptocurrency. Because XRP will undoubtedly amass that money and transfer it straight to the actual coin. From that vantage point, it is clear that a huge supply shock is imminent. And this is the one, gentlemen. All of the money will end up here. Given that there is only a 22 million face-on supply, here is where wealth will be built for future generations. Max supply is worth $1 billion in total, but if you take a broad view, demand will increase dramatically. The supply will wind up deep, insufficient supply. In other words, there will be a severe supply shock if there is a huge demand and insufficient supply. Therefore, it goes without saying that the price must increase, because the price must be affected when there is a strong demand and a limited supply. Thus, the cost will ultimately skyrocket, and we're discussing enormous figures here. And I mean it. Let me show you what I'm about to show you. Although the actual token is predicted to go from 2 cents to 64,500, we are discussing the possibility that XRP may actually reach $11,000, because once more, if just 1% of that $650 trillion market is invested in it, there will be a huge supply shock. The price will have to adjust, and it will ultimately rocket to enormously high levels. And for that reason, I bought a lovely purse for myself. Many of these analysts and specialists are doing the same thing. With 87,000 followers, it is evident that this analyst is enormous. And for this reason, it is certain that there will be significant occurrences. This project, which is literally hundreds of thousands of percentages, is 2 to 3 months old. The statistics here are crazy, and they will only get higher. We're just getting started, after all. The price of this stuff is going to skyrocket once it is published on controlled markets. Due to the lack of a centralized exchange listing and a broad marketing campaign, it is now very difficult to enter, but the price is skyrocketing hundreds of thousands of percentage points. Since introduction, what we are about to witness here is a significant transformation in which the project will receive trillions of dollars before being published on centralized exchanges. As a result, we will witness a tremendously strong upward trend for the realtor. Again, this is the reason why people are so optimistic. This is the reason why people are discussing possibly going from $235,000 because, for instance, at the moment when there is that much demand, any project listed in the real asset sector, basically on Binance or any exchange, most of them enter the market gap of hundreds of billions. We are discussing a supply shock that will occur and cause the price to skyrocket to tens of thousands of dollars in real time. People who purchased Bitcoin at $1 and it soared to $120,000. Those who purchased Bitcoin at Solana for pennies and it soared to hundreds of dollars. And those who purchased Ethereum for pennies and it soared to thousands of dollars are examples of those who got in early before the sun rose. Mass scale was just before it. This is your once-in-a-lifetime chance to truly accomplish it. We are also discussing a project that, once more, is supported by a huge institution, and that is on the XGB ledger. This project is solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem. Have a great time, boys. This is a huge organization. It's quite insane that multi-million-dollar real estate properties are truly fond of them using the XRP ledger. It also demonstrates the momentum. Rumor has it that Ruble is linked with these guys. When you consider the possibilities of the vast quantities of wealth and the largest worldwide transfer that is imminent, it is all going to occur on the XRP ledger. And clearly extremely positive. And as you can see once more, I believe that the greatest market bull run in history is set to occur to be. Are about to witness this. There has been a lot of discussion over the past 45 days, but when Bitcoin hits $220,000, everything makes sense and goes according to plan. A retracement is necessary for you. Another enormous record high. Consider Bitcoin as an example, which reached the astounding peak of $130,000. Well, you must make a thorough retracing. Take Bitcoin, for instance, which exceeded 100,000, retraced to 79, and then surged to more than 130,000.